Hi, Pink. Are you ready to make some art today? Well, we're going to be using paper. No, not pencil and paper, just paper. No, Pink, not markers and paper, just paper. No, Pink, not crayons and paper, just paper. Yes, we're making art with paper. First, we're going to practice tearing a straight line. Paper has a grain, and if you tear with the grain, it will tear straight. Let's try again. You'll know if you're not with the grain when you tear and it doesn't tear straight. Then you are against the grain. Let's try another piece. Was I with the grain or against the grain? Right, with the grain. Was that with the grain or against the grain? Right, against the grain, because it didn't tear straight. That was with the grain, a straight tear. After you finish tearing with the grain and against the grain, we'll try to tear a shape. This time you'll tear even slower, making small tears and moving your fingers each time you make a tear. I'm trying to make a wiggly shape. Well, that could be a car. Oh, when I turn it upside down, it looks like the head of an animal. I'm going to try to tear an oval. I just tear a little bit, move my fingers, tear, move my fingers, tear, tear, tear. It's a pretty good oval. That's going to be the body for my animal. Make some legs now. Ooh, it's beginning to look like an elephant to me. Those big ears. There's a curly piece for his trunk. What's it missing? Yes, a small tail. Now it's your turn to practice tearing with the grain, against the grain, and tearing shapes. Another way to change the shape of paper is with scissors. We're going to practice cutting out shapes, rectangles, squares, and triangles. First, we'll cut out a large rectangle by cutting a straight line. If I cut my large rectangle in half, I will end up with two smaller rectangles. To make squares, I'm going to cut another rectangle If I cut my rectangle in half, I'll get two smaller rectangles. What if I cut it here? What about here? I think that will make a square. Yes. Let's cut some more squares. If I want to make a triangle, I'll start with one square and then cut from one corner to the other. Can you see the two triangles? Another way to make triangles is to cut the corners off of a large square. Now, just start cutting whatever shapes you like. You'll mainly just be cutting straight lines to create lots of different shapes. Here's the piece of paper I started with, and here's all the shapes I made. Put it all together to make a picture. Here are some of the shapes, my torn shapes and my cut up shapes. Here is my background. I'm not going to cut this piece. I'm going to arrange my shapes on top to try to create a picture. I will arrange them in several different ways. You might need to cut a few extra pieces once you have an idea. Sometimes I just like to arrange shapes in an interesting way. I can't wait to see what you're going to make in art today.